Hey, Chandler here. Welcome back. In this video and in this session, I want to talk about using a book to grow your email list. So a lot of people have this problem where they've got something to sell, but no email subscribers. Your book can reverse that problem. My very first book brought in over 4,000 email subscribers or leads within the first few months. This book right here has brought in tens of thousands of leads or email subscribers for my business. So in this video and in these next few sessions, I'm going to talk to you about why email matters, how do you actually build an email list, and then most importantly, how do you use your book to turn people from readers to subscribers. So a book is one of the most powerful tools that you can use to grow your email list. Everybody wants an email list. Not many people know how to build one. This book right here has brought in tens of thousands of leads for my business from readers. Now, first off, why does email matter? People have been saying for years, email lists are dead. Don't you know that there's new regulations? There's new this, that, and the other that's causing email to die. There's the promo tab. There's all this stuff. Well, let me tell you, social media is extremely noisy. Email is where people go to take action. So kind of like books, the email has been down and out and dead about 17 times now, but it's still one of the best ways to reach potential customers, and pound for pound marketing wise is one of the best ways to generate revenue for your business. Or if you're an author that just wants to sell more copies, it's one of the best ways to get reviews. It's one of the best ways to get people to do business with you, do stuff beyond the book, buy additional copies of your book, right? So an email list gives you direct line of contact to your audience. It's independent of the algorithms, and it's one of the most reliable long-term assets for building trust and selling. So you need to build an email list if you want any communication with your readers beyond the book, because obviously Amazon, they don't give you the contact info of all your buyers. So you got to use the stuff that I'm going to teach you in this video to use a book to build your email list. So which comes first, the email list or the book? This is the age-old question alongside the chicken or the egg. People think, oh, do I need to spend all this time building an email list? Well, I need to do that, right? Because otherwise, how am I going to get people to buy my book? But then the other side of the coin is, well, I could use a book to build my email list. Now, there's no right or wrong answer. I'll just tell you what worked for me. When I started in the beginning, I had no email list. I had no audience. I had no nothing. I was 19 years old. I wrote a book that I thought could help people, and I used that book to grow my email list from zero. Like I mentioned, in the first few months, we brought in over 4,000 leads or 4,000 email subscribers. So I believe that a book is the best first step because it instantly builds authority. It proves that you're worth learning from and worth following, and it earns trust faster than just about anything else, and especially faster than begging for attention on social media. Right, so it legitimizes you and it opens doors to places where you can build your email list beyond just the book. But if we're talking about just the book to grow your email list, well, you really need two things to turn readers into subscribers. It's pretty simple. Number one, you need something of value. And number two, you need a way to capture their info. So something of value, this is what a lot of people call a lead magnet. And I believe that a lead magnet is really just, it's a thing that solves a problem. All right, we don't have to make it too complicated. A lot of people, oh, do you do assessments or quizzes? Do you do PDFs? Do you do videos? Do you audios? I'll talk about what works best later in the video, but really the core question is, does this solve a problem for the reader? And then number two, you need a way to capture their info. So typically that's a landing page. That's somewhere where they can go. They see what they're going to get. They fill out their info. They give you their info in order to get the thing. So when it comes to creating subscribers from your book, there's three big mistakes that I see a lot of authors make. The first one is one that I made myself. So the first one is you put the opt-in in the back of the book. So I don't know if you're like me, but I thought, hey, here's what's going to happen. All these people are going to buy this book. At the very end of the book, I'll say, hey, if you like this book, here's how to do more stuff with me, or here's free stuff. And then I found out we'd sold thousands of copies. And I looked at the stats and I'm thinking, why is this email list not growing? And I found out this stat, and that's that only 20% of books that get started actually get read. So if you put this stuff in the back of your book, you're going to miss out on 80% of your audience. So that's a big mistake. Instead, put it in the front of the book. I learned that one the hard way. Number two, the big mistake is they rely on traditional PDFs or action guides or checklists or whatever, and they just convert poorly. Because think about it. When you start reading a book, what's the last thing that you want? Something else to read. You probably may have time to read this book. And so the traditional kind of, PDF guide and whatever else doesn't really work. Now you can give away your book for free. I'll talk about that later, but embedding a PDF within a PDF or within a book doesn't convert well. And then number three, this is a big mistake. this sounds so dumb, but a lot of people just don't put a call to action in the book, right? So they just say, hey, I'm going to let the book speak for itself, and they don't give clear next steps. And so if you think about this in my book, if I've got a chapter on outlining, I've got something of value that I could give people there. It's a book outline template. And so I'm just going to do one small little plug and say, hey, here's this template that will be helpful for you. Go to this link. That's kind of the pendulum swing to the other side is there's a decent amount of people, they just don't put any calls to action in their book. So those are the 3 mistakes to avoid. Now, here are the 2 options that actually work. I call this golden carrot offers, okay? Because they're so valuable that the majority of readers opt in. Option number 1 is video. So at the very beginning of my book, you can look at the beginning of my book to see it. There's 2 pages. And on one side, I say, hey, here's a video summary of the book. Video summaries work great because there's high perceived value. It builds deeper connection and it's not reading. All right. So it's one less thing they have to read. Here's the video summary, which for me, this is one of my highest converting webinars. So if you already have a high converting webinar in your business that talks about the topics of your book, that's a really great place to start because it does 2 things right off the bat. It adds value and it converts them into customers, right? If you got a high converting webinar like I do, well, I know that the best thing I can do is get a reader to watch that webinar. If they watch that webinar, they're likely going to become a customer. And then option number 2, this is kind of the ultimate golden carrot offer, is an audiobook. Okay. I don't know. Some people will say, hold up, Chandler, what? An audiobook? Are you kidding me? Like, I spent all this time to record it. I could sell this for $20. Aren't you leaving a ton of money on the table? The answer is probably so. But if your goal is to grow your business with this book, what's more valuable? A few bucks in royalties from your audiobook or thousands of subscribers for your email list, right? So the reason I love audiobooks is because it offers inherent value right out of the gates, right? If you start reading my book, you see this at the beginning, you think, wow, I would pay 15 or 20 bucks for this. And if I go to Audible, that's what I have to pay. Chandler's giving this to me for free. What a great guy. Another reason I like it is because it encourages consumption and it increases consumption. So just by having an audiobook, I got a lot more people that are actually consuming the content of my book. And I narrated this book. So for me, it's building even more of a relationship. They're way more likely to become a customer. So those are the 2 things. Make sure that you put those at the beginning of the book: video overview and a free audiobook. So now that you've come up with your thing of value, you came up with a mechanism to deliver it. Where do you put it? Well, I've kind of already hammered this home, but there's 2 places that I like to put my opt-ins in the book. Number 1 is in the very beginning. Okay. I've already kind of mentioned that. I've got templates. You can check out my book if you want to see how I do this. You can also use some of the templates that we have. Another life change. So the first couple of pages are dedicated to these free value offers. So you've got free audiobook, you've got free video summary, and then I've even went so far as the next page is, hey, want our help just implementing what you learn in this book? Book a call with my team. We'll create a custom strategy for you. So that's how I put it in the front of the book. And what that makes possible is, I don't know if you've ever done the look inside feature. You ever done that on Amazon where you click look inside and you preview the first 10 or 15% of the book? Well, guess what? People can look inside and opt into my stuff without even buying the book. Now, people think Chandler's an idiot. What is he doing? He doesn't know that I could get this audiobook for free just by previewing. Of course I know that. That lead is worth way more to me than the few bucks in royalties I would have gotten. And so that's how we funnel hundreds, if not thousands of leads a month off of the Amazon ecosystem and into our world at selfpublishing.com. And so in addition to the early opt-in, you want to sprinkle throughout the book your calls to action. All right. Now, I talked about the pendulum earlier of no calls to action. There's the other end of the spectrum, which is we've all read these books where every other page, it seems like, they say, oh, you should work with me, or you should download this thing, or you should go to this link, or you should go to this link. And here's this thing that is super valuable, but I didn't put it in the book. And so you should go here. Don't do that. It's a really lame user experience. It's a really lame reader experience. You know, if you've ever read one of those books, how frustrating and annoying it is. It's like, man, I feel like this is just a constant sales pitch. Why am I even reading this book? And so what I recommend doing instead is just pick 5 to 7 places throughout to tactfully plug the most valuable resources that you have related to that content. So if you think about, for me, you're going through the mind map phase. I've got a mind map template. Outline phase. I've got an outline template. Then we get into the marketing. I say, hey, download this marketing checklist. All throughout, there's things of value, but it's subtle. It's simple. And the way that I like to do this here, this is kind of getting kind of technical and in the weeds, but I have all of these different, 5 to 7 things that I'm giving away, and they have unique URLs so that it feels unique while you're reading the book, but then they actually all end up on the same page. What this does is this allows you to consolidate all of your lead magnets so you don't have to build 17 different landing pages and funnels and all that stuff, and you over deliver for the reader. So they go to that same place and then they see, oh my gosh, wow, I can get all this stuff in one place. It's more value, better reader experience. So first things first, put it in the front of the book. Secondly, sprinkle 5 to 7 calls to actions throughout the book. Maybe most importantly, at the very end, have a clear call to action for what they can do next. So that is where, my grand hypothesis with my first book, you do want to include that, but you don't want to rely on it. So I say, hey, you finished this book. We'd love to help you put together an implementation plan. Here's the next step. Book a call with my team. Let's chat. So that's where to place your opt-in throughout the book. So you've started growing your email list. If you've done this correctly, what happens next? Well, there's a couple things that you need to make sure that you set up on the start. So number one is a follow-up sequence. When you collect their email, you need to deliver those things and follow up over the next 7 to 14 days. And preferably, so email 1 is, hey, here's the things that you got for free for opt-in. And step 2, here's how you can take the next step and work with us, right? If there's an option. Maybe if you've just got a book, step 2, can you leave a review on the book, right? But you want to start building a relationship, and you've got that follow-up campaign, and then you want to add them to your evergreen marketing list so that you're marketing to them continuously. And you can use those emails to promote future books, sell future products, ask for reviews, share your journey, build community around that thing. What I recommend too is plug all of these leads into what we call the review sweeper, which if you check out our other video on how to get more reviews on your book, it's a masterclass on how to get reviews. And one of the things that we recommend setting up is a review sweeper. So make sure that you drop all of these email contacts into that review sweeper. And if you do this the right way, you can generate a whole lot of revenue for your business from your book. So when I launched one of my first books, I think this may be book number 3, in the first 55 days using this process, we brought in 3,300 leads and over $92,000 in sales for my business from the book. It's pretty simple. We launched the book. We had opt-ins. Those opt-ins led to working with us. And then that led to $92,000 in sales. Right? So if you implement this, there's a real power in this. And I've used this with my book. Like I mentioned, this book right here has brought in tens of millions of dollars in sales for selfpublishing.com. We give it away all over the place. It's one of the best-selling books on Amazon on the topic. There's over 2,000 reviews. People buy the book, they read the book, they start looking here and they say, oh my gosh, audiobook for free? I want that. Video for free? I want that. Oh, how can I work with selfpublishing.com? I want to do that. Right? So it's just a natural lead in and start to the relationship for us that's led to millions of dollars in sales. So if you're ready to implement this in your book, there's 2 things that you need to do right now. Number 1, you need to decide on your valuable opt-in offer. What's your golden carrot offer? Again, I recommend video or audio, but maybe that looks a little bit different for you. And then number 2, you need to add these calls to action to your book. This is really, really important. Maybe you've got to get it reformatted or relaunched or whatever, or maybe you're leading up to the launch. This is a good final step to make sure you got all your ducks in a row. So if you're ready to grow your email list using a book, I want you to do 2 things right now. Number 1, comment below. What is your golden carrot offer? You giving away video? You giving away audiobook? What does that look like for you? And then number 2, speaking of audiobooks and free audiobooks, I'd love to give you a free audiobook of this book. And so you can click the link in the description. It's totally free, no strings attached. This book will be really helpful for you as you think about writing or publishing a book that grows your business. All right. There's a chapter in this book all about what I just talked about, and it goes in even more detail on how to grow your email list using a book. So click the link in the description, check out your free audiobook, and I'll see you in the next video.